Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, Made with Love. My name is Heather, and today I'm actually going to be making chocolates. I wanted to do it yesterday. Yesterday was Valentine's Day, but I ran out of time, so just going to quickly go over what I'm going to use. So I don't have a double boiler, but I've got a pot and I've got a little bowl, and my bowl fits perfectly like that. I'm boiling my water in the kettle for the moment just so I can show, because I had somebody asking about they don't have a double boiler. So how to make one. So as long as you just have a pot and you have a bowl that fits snug, that's not going to rock. It does rock a little this way, but it doesn't really, I mean, once the pot has water and it's stable, it doesn't really move too much. I mean, if I tip it crooked, then yeah, it moves. But when I hold it straight, it doesn't really move too much. So you just want to make sure that the space between where your water is and where the bowl is, there's some space, because it's mostly just the steam that you want to melt your chocolate. I have a variety of different types of things I use for my chocolate molds. Now some of it is I do have the real actual molds, and I believe most of mine are by Wilton. I know this one is, a lot of mine are Wilton. This one I'm not quite sure. So I'm going to be using these ones today to make molds. This one here is to make the nice little ones. They look like the store-bought ones. I'm going to make the cherry, and then I saw these ones, they're turtle shaped, and I thought, oh, that's so cute, the turtle shape. And then other things you can use is, I've got a stack of these three little heart ones. These are from the Dollarama. Yeah, Dollarama. They were like $1.25 or $1.50, because I got different price tags, because different years the prices go up. And these ones are actually for baking, so you can actually, these are the baking silicone ones. You can actually make little cakes or little mini cookies in them. And these ones say they're for the oven, and they're for up to 428 Fahrenheit or 220 Celsius, but I find they work really good for chocolates as well. So I'm going to use some of the heart-shaped ones for chocolates, and I also have one of the little lips. I'm going to make some little lip chocolates too. This one here is actually, again, from the dollars. I think it's from Dollarama or Dollar Tree. No, Dollar Tree. So this would have been $1.25, but it is actually the ice cube, but it's got the roses, and it makes really cute little rose chocolates. So I do have other chocolate molds here. Like I got these ones. This is Easter. It's the little bunnies. I saw that. I got to bring it up because it's going to be Easter pretty soon, and I wanted to make some chocolates. I also have a bunch of molds that look like this. And you get the two pieces, so you get 6 little cavities to fill. 3 are the tops and 3 are the bottoms. And it actually makes the little, looks like cupcakes, and you can actually fill it with something. I was going to make these ones today, but I don't think I have enough chocolate for what I wanted to make. So I'm not going to make these ones today, but next time I make chocolates, I'm going to be making a little cupcake fillable candy molds. Those are really fun. Another thing I need is, if you go to wherever they sell the stuff to buy the chocolate making kits, they sell the tiny little paint brushes, and you get maybe 4 or 5, and they want like about $5, $6, but they're the exact same thing as these, and these are from the Dollar Tree, $1.25, and I get 24 little paint brushes. Anytime I'm doing chocolate, if it's been a long time since I made chocolate, I like to start with a brand new paintbrush, just because it gives you, like when you're doing, especially like these ones here, the little bunnies, if I wanted to have different colors of chocolate to like put anything, like I like to do pink and purple on her dress, and I like to give him a little bit of blue on his coat, and maybe a little bit of pink in their ears, just something fun. Or even for Christmas, I'll do red and green for various things, just to give it a little bit of a nice color, so it looks a little bit, so they look, I mean, one, it's homemade chocolate, but 2, it just looks like you've stepped it up a little bit, which is what I like to do. Start with the basic stuff. Start with how to make the basic chocolates, and then you can kind of add the colors. So I brought these because I know I'm going to be making these ones for Easter. So that's what you use the paintbrush for, is you make the thinner chocolate and you just paint inside where you want it to be. Okay, so for the chocolate that I'm using, I at the moment didn't have the money to go, because I usually just run to a bulk barn and I just grab a bunch of those melting wafer chocolates. I don't have that money for that this time, so I went to Walmart. So I'm starting out with actual chocolate. So I went to Walmart and I bought a stack of chocolate bars. See, this would be a couple trips. I didn't just go and buy like, I think there's about 10 here or something. I didn't go to Walmart and spend $10 in one trip on chocolate. I just kind of go occasionally and just, you know, walking through. I think these are great to have in your pantry. It's just one of those little staple items. Just go to Walmart. They're like for $1, you get like 100 grams of chocolate. And it's good for quick baking. So I've got a variety here. So I've got the dark chocolate almond. I've got a white chocolate. Mint milk chocolate, a hazelnut milk chocolate, an almond milk chocolate. I've got some dark chocolate ones. Got another white chocolate, and I've got the almond nougat milk chocolate, and just a milk chocolate. Now I was kind of figuring out what I wanted to make, so I'm just gonna figure out. I said I did have this one here, so I was gonna make some with the cherries. So for the cherries, you will need the maraschino cherries and a little bit of icing sugar to make the little syrupy stuff inside. Now I've seen different people make different ones. You can make it as hard as you want, where it's so complicated, where you're gonna put the cherry stuff together and you're gonna let it sit for like months before you make it. I like to make it where it's made today. So it's just basically, I make with the cherries, things on there. With the cherries, it's a little bit of the cherry juice and a little bit of the icing sugar, and you get a little bit of a syrup, and then the cherry. And by the time it sets, I mean, those ones will probably not be ready today. Those ones will need a full 24 hours to set up, so I won't be able to eat those today, but that's okay. But the other ones we will be able to. So I'm gonna make some of the cherry ones. So I'm gonna put aside, I'm gonna make cherry in the white chocolate and the regular milk chocolate. So these two I'm gonna make with the cherry, and I'm gonna set this one aside because I'm just trying to figure out what I'm gonna make. Actually, let me just move this camera down so you can see my chocolate molds. So just so I can figure out. Sorry, just went to move it down and I dropped everything. Okay, just so you can see what I'm doing. So I've got these other ones. These I brought up. These are just the ice cube molds, but they need to be washed. All my trays need to be washed, but I haven't gotten to that stage. I just wanted to start getting everything figured out. How many chocolates I'm going to make, what kind. Because I'm making these for my husband. I'm not going to be using the dark chocolate. So then I don't need the other white. So I'm just going to keep those ones aside because I do not feel like making this many chocolates. So I'm just going to decide what I think I'm going to make. This one's a dark chocolate, so I'm not going to make the dark chocolate. Okay, so these four here are the milk chocolates. So I got mint, hazelnut, almond, and almond nougat. Well, I don't need to make both the almond and the almond nougat, so I'm just going to do the almond nougat one. And then I think we have those peppermint ones. Me and my husband, we've been eating after 8. So we've got a lot of after 8s right now, so I'm not going to make that one. So that just means I'm going to be using just the 4 bars of chocolates. So now I got to figure out which molds I'm going to be making them in. Now this hazelnut is kind of like, you know, the turtle kind of a thing. So I think I'm going to make the hazelnut into the acrylics. Hard to pick up. I'm going to use the hazelnut in the turtle pattern, and I'm going to use the almond in the rose, and then whatever other bit of chocolate I have, because I'm going to have more chocolates than going to fit in the molds. Then I'm going to use up the hearts and the lips with whatever doesn't fit. Now I do have another one of these ice cube trays with the roses. So I might go and grab it, I'm not sure. My kettle is boiled, so it's almost time, but I just have to wash these pans because I just thought before I went and scrubbed in all my pans here, I want to know what I was making, how many chocolate bars I was going to be making. So I will be back when my molds are washed, because I mean, they're new, like these ones here I just bought, but I always wash them when I first, you know, go to use them. These other ones I've had for a while. It's been a while since I've made chocolates. They were in my cupboard. Probably saw them when I was cleaning out my cupboard in one of my other videos. So I'm just gonna go and wash these, and then I will be back when it's time to actually start making the chocolate. Okay, so I've got my molds washed and dried. So I'm gonna make the turtle chocolates first. So I've got my, oops, I gotta turn that down just a little too high. I've got to keep this on to a low simmer because it's mostly once the water's boiled, it's just the steam that kind of melts it. So I'm gonna do this one. I've already got it open. I am starting with the Almond Nougat milk chocolate. Let's see if I can just move this stuff, bring the camera a little closer. So you can see, so I've got the double boiler. I don't want my camera any closer because I'm worried that it's going to tip and hit the stove. But I'm just going to break this up. I don't know how much, I don't know how long it's going to take to melt this chocolate. I do melt these type of chocolate bars. I usually use the ones that don't have anything in it, but I thought it'd be neat to try with the chocolate that has other stuff in it. I thought I had one of the chocolate bars that had the Rice Krispie bits in it, so I wanted to try that one too, but I don't know. It's probably in my pantry somewhere, but that's okay. I don't even know if I'm gonna have time tonight to make all these different types of chocolate that I want to make. So far I've got half the chocolate bar. And I don't know how much chocolate I'm gonna get out of each one of these. So I'm starting with the milk chocolates. I'm starting with this one. This was the, I've got the Almond Nougat milk chocolate. This just does not want to melt as good as I thought it would, but I know it's like melting the chocolate chips or melting the other chocolate. Sometimes it just takes a couple minutes to get it to start to melt, and then you get most of it half melted. Then you can start adding in more, and then it starts to melt faster. Now to this, you want to be careful not to get any liquid in the chocolate because that will affect, which is why you want to make sure that your pot doesn't, the bowl you choose does not go into the pot where the water could go into the bowl where your chocolate is, because the water will wreck the way that it melts. Because I'm also using this chocolate bar, same with chocolate chips, I will melt sometimes in the microwave, but I prefer just when you're melting the stuff on the stove on the double boiler. I always just find it makes it just a nice, more even consistency chocolate. Nothing gets burned. I find it so much easier to burn chocolate in the microwave, especially the dark chocolate and the white chocolate. I don't know why. The milk chocolate seems to be okay in the microwave, but some of those other melting wafers, some of the colors in the microwave, they solidify when they get certain ones. If you don't stir it constantly, so when it's in the microwave, you can't be constantly stirring it. I could burned it. I've burned the baking wafers in the microwave without realizing it because I didn't stir it properly. So I put it in and then I took it out. I stirred it, but I didn't stir enough, like making sure that the bottom had been stirred up to the top and the stuff on the top was stirred down to the bottom. And then I put it back in the microwave, and then all the stuff on the bottom had burned, and then the chocolate tasted burned, and then it wouldn't melt properly. So I ended up having to throw all that chocolate out. Okay, so now I'm just gonna put my molds here. I'm just gonna move this back just a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. So I've got my, just trying to get the camera here. Okay. I'm going to make this in the turtles because I thought it'd be kind of cute to have these almond. Well, I would have liked to have the pecan one with the turtles. That would have been made more sense, but I didn't seem to have the almond, or not the pecan ones. But this one is an almond nougat. Again, I got to make sure not to spill any of this water into the mold. Now I'm just gonna grab my other little spoon I have. Got this little spoon. It's actually for tea, So this side is the small one, is for matcha tea, and this is the larger one for just regular loose tea. Just because I want something I can just measure this out with, so I can get a nice amount of chocolate in each one, and I won't get chocolate spilled on the outside of the mold. I'm just filling them up most of the way. I'm just going to give them a few seconds to spread out before I add more. So I just want to make sure I can get, just want to know how many chocolates I can make out of one chocolate bar. So this mold will make 16 chocolates. And I think I'm going to get 16 chocolates out of this chocolate bar. At least I'm hoping, with the amount of chocolate is still in the bottom of this dish. It's just very hard to get this out now. I'm just going to down to the last little bit. The dish is not as hot as it was a moment ago. I'm just going to try to pour this into the last couple. Actually, maybe I won't get 16, maybe I'll only get 14. So I gotta fill a couple. These didn't quite get enough. It looks like I get 14 chocolates. So I've got all this almond nougat stuff out of here, so I can just like that. Got a little more in this one. Just seeing if there's any that I can just kind of top up a little bit. Then the last step is to lightly tap this so you get some of the air bubbles. It will spread out. And wherever I got a couple that were just a little too full, that's what I was trying to avoid doing. I'm just going to set this aside for a second, and I'm going to grab the next chocolate bar. So next I'm going to make I'm going to use the hazelnut milk chocolate. The thing is one was the almond, this one's the hazelnut. They're both milk chocolate, so I don't have to, I'm not too worried about rinsing out my pot. I mean, if I was making like this one, I'm doing these ones first, and then I can do the solid milk chocolate and the solid white separately, but I'd have to wash my pan out because I don't want the nuts in the other ones because I'm making with the cherries. This, I'm going to turn my burner back on, just kind of heat this up, get the water a little hotter again. And just do this, I'm just using just a little baby whisk, or not whisk, spatula. I just find it just easier because I can stir and I can scrape down the sides of the bowl at the same time. I do have a whisk and I do like to use the whisk, but I can't find my baby whisk at the moment. So I just wanted something small because I'm doing little baby chocolates. So move the wrappers out of the way so I can just grab the next molds that I'm going to be making. I think these ones I'm going to make the roses. I'm just going to take a couple minutes to get this melted. I'll be back. I just got to wash my hands before I touch anything. I've got chocolate everywhere, so I'll be right back. Okay, the chocolate is almost melted now. This one's got the bigger chunks of nut in it. And this, I'm using, this time it's the ice cube tray. So it's a silicone ice cube tray, and this one holds 12 chocolates. So I don't know how many chocolates I'm gonna actually get out of this. Okay, so I'm gonna move my camera back. Turn my stove off. I'm just gonna bring I've got my spoon washed and dried, so I can. This I don't know how many I'm going to be able to make with this flour. Well, I say based on the size of the scoop and how much is filling in here, I think it's going to be about the same as the turtle. So I'll probably get all 12 of the flowers. Maybe not. I'm not quite sure how many I'll get. I think as much as I can get using this scoop, so I'm going to have to use just the spatula and scrape out the rest. Just wish I could get one more out of here. That would be good, but I don't think I can. I think that's all I'm going to get is 11. So close to getting 12. Okay, I'm just going to put this down. Now that one can use a little bit more. Just a little bit more chocolate sitting right here. Okay, so I've got 11 chocolates of the roses, and I had gotten 14 of the turtles. So I'm going to put these in the fridge. I'm going to clean my containers up, and I will be back to do the milk chocolate with the maraschino cherries. Okay, welcome back. I've got those two things of, everything's ringing at me, so just 1 second. Sorry about that. Just had to go turn off the timer for something else. So I said, yeah, sorry. I won't be able to make the cherry chocolates tonight. I don't seem to have any icing sugar at the moment, and I don't have very many cherries. I've got like 5 cherries, so it's not worth it tonight. So instead, I'll make the cherry chocolates later this week. But tonight I'm going to use the mint milk chocolate, and I'm just going to make some little lips and hearts. I feel bad because I said I was going to do that, and then one of those things. You think you've got supplies, but you're using up stuff for other things, and then it's like, oh wait, I don't have enough cherries to make that because I was using the cherries for something else. And then, oh, I know what it is. I had my day home kids. They wanted fruit cocktail, so I made up some homemade fruit cocktails. So then they wanted them with the cherries, so I had to put in some bits of chopped maraschino cherries because the one would not eat the fruit cocktail unless they had cherries. And they didn't like the mandarins, so I had to chop the mandarins a little smaller and add maraschino cherries to the little bit of mandarin oranges just so they would eat their snack. But so I thought I had more, and then icing sugar. My jar is empty. I probably have a bag of icing sugar in my pantry, but at this time of night it's like it's after 7 o'clock or almost 7 o'clock. I got to get my husband from work pretty soon, so tonight's our anniversary, so I'm also cooking our anniversary supper. That's why all those timers are going off on me. So I'm just gonna get this to heat. Oops. I guess the water cooled down while I was busy doing other things. I gotta turn the water back up a little higher because it's just not melting. So I will make chocolates again later in a few days. Well, I do want to make, I know I'll be making chocolates for Easter, but I really want to make the maraschino cherry chocolates. And I just feel bad that I can't make them tonight. It's just for my husband as well. It's our anniversary, and I love to make him chocolates for Valentine's, and I didn't get a chance to do it last night, so I'm just so busy on the weekend doing a few other things. Even tonight being that's 7 o'clock at night, supper is like half cooked, and I'm still standing here making the chocolate. This does not want to melt. I think it's just, you know, the water's just not boiled. It was, but it cooled down too much. So I'm just gonna take this off because I just don't want the chocolate to start to burn while I'm waiting for the water to boil. So I'm gonna do the lips and a tray of hearts. I've got the other 2 trays of hearts. I don't know how many I'm gonna get. Let's see, this makes 8 and this one makes 10. So I'm gonna start with the lips first because those are kind of cute. And let's see how many I can make, and then I can always, you know, this is just milk chocolate, so if I wanted to, I can always just throw in some more of the regular milk chocolate. If I wanted to, just if I ran out of chocolate before I got the other trays filled. This just does not want to melt as easily as the other ones. I'm just trying to show you that you don't have to go out and spend a lot of money to make your own chocolates. I mean, I prefer when I make my chocolates that I buy the melting chocolate wafers, but I just want to show people that, you know, you can just do it with what you have in your house, what you've got available. So I just got to pause for 1 second while I'm waiting for this because I got to check the other timers that are going off. All right, I'm back. I'm going to turn this down because now the water is really boiling. So this is starting to really melt. I gotta get this chocolate in here fast. Just took me a little longer to check on the other food than I thought it was gonna take me. It's really not going to take long for this chocolate to melt. Just going to lift this up and let some of that steam come out because it's just building up in that one spot. That's why it's better to have in a proper double boiler. I've never had a double boiler, but I think the next time I buy a set of pots, I'm gonna get the larger set and get a double boiler, or find, I think I have a better bowl that works on my other pot, but I couldn't find it. I think it's got leftovers in the fridge in it, actually. There, it's almost melted. I said the other thing is, like, when I do this on the double boiler, you can constantly stir while you're watching it, and you can see any chunks that haven't melted. You can just concentrate on those little chunks. And then that looks good. So I'm going to turn the burner off. I'm going to lift this off. Pull this back so you can watch me do it again. So I've got my little, because this one's a little smaller, I'm going to use the smaller side of my little scoop here so I can get the chocolate in there just a lot easier. And so you can use whatever you have to lift it up. It's just so much better instead of trying to hold this and pour. Some of my molds are larger, so I can actually just lift up the container and pour it into the molds. But when the molds are smaller like this, it's so much easier just to use a spoon. I mean, you can even buy, they sell special spoons for this, but yeah, how many little kitchen gadgets does one person really need? I say that after I've been cleaning out my house. Lots of duplicates and lots of stuff I've bought because it's for one purpose, but I don't use it because I've got something else that works just as good or actually better. So I'm just going to tap this down. So what this does is this helps get any air bubbles out. It also, when you tap it down, any that you can tell need a little bit more, you can always add a little bit more. I know that's just my microwave telling me that it's, what I've got in there is done. Okay, I'm just going to set this aside. Now, I would normally want to use the big one, but if I switch sides, I'm going to be covered in chocolate. So I'm just going to continue to fill these with the small side. Now this mold is actually like for baking, so it's quite large. I don't know if I really want the chocolate to be any bigger, but I'll just fill up the last three and then I can just see if I don't think there's going to be any more in here to make more heart chocolate. But I think I've got a good amount of chocolate. So I was thinking if I wanted to use this one or not. I think I'll save that. I think we've got 4 trays of chocolate. I think that's a good amount of chocolate, considering the amount of chocolate we have sitting on the dining room table at the moment. I'm just going to top up a few of these other small hearts that have less than half. Then I will tap it down, and then any that need to be filled after that, I will top them up. I'll put these in the fridge, and I will be back when these ones, because the other ones, it doesn't matter how long they stay in the fridge, but I will be back when these ones are done, and so the other trays will definitely be done. So I'm just going to tap this down. This also gives it a really nice, smooth back to your chocolates when you tap it down. Okay, so I'm just going to top up a couple more of these and put these in the fridge. So I will be back when I'm taking them out. So I will be back shortly. Okay, so I got the chocolates out of the fridge. I'm just going to put the camera down a little bit. So this is the first tray. These are the turtle shaped ones. So this was the nougat, the almond nougat. So I'm just going to squeeze, and they should just pop right out. Just give it a little squeeze and kind of twist it back and forth. And one's popped out, so the rest should start to pop up now. I'm not going to force them to pop out. I'm just going to, if I can't get them, I'm just going to go to the next ones, next row, see if I can get them to pop out. Sometimes you get a little bit of the chocolate that kind of goes around the outside of the tray, and then you just takes a minute for them to want to pop out. See, starting to pop. Almost got these ones out. They look so cute, these little baby turtles. I'll show. And you know they're good because they're all, the chocolate was melted and smooth. So the top of the chocolate is all really shiny, and then the bottom of the chocolate is more matte, which is how you want your chocolates to look, where you want the tops to be really shiny and the bottom side to be, or the underside to be more matte. I'm just gonna, I've got this nice little tray here, so I'm just gonna start to put the chocolates in the tray. I'm gonna line them up. Then also anywhere where the chocolate has, where it was over the edge, just a little bits of these other chocolates, just kind of push off with your finger. You don't have to do that, it's not a big deal, but usually, you know, they just kind of fall off when you pick them up anyways. So I forget how many I made. No, I think it was 14 of the turtles. These ones were the milk chocolate almond nougat. Line them up here. And then the next ones I made was the rose, and this one's I made using the ice cube trays. Just a silicone ice cube tray. Now this one is a little bit trickier to pop them out. You kind of have to like pull the tray kind of apart, and then you pop it around. They should just pop out, and look at how beautiful that looks, the nice rose. And these ones were the milk chocolate, I think it was hazelnut. I can do this, I know how to pop these out. I can do this really fast from this side. So I really like these silicone trays. They work really good to make the chocolates and to pop them out. Oops, don't want to lose any. Now this one here this is one where the tray wasn't as full, and I got some extra chocolate went up the side. So what you would do is I'm just going to grab a little knife and just trim that off. I just got my little paring knife. I just got it right here. Just grab the little paring knife, and I'm just going to trim straight across like that. Yes, you will be a little bit of a rough edge, but it's better to have a rough edge You can just take your finger and just kind of smooth it out because it's just the underside. But it looks so much better having, it looks a little bit of an imperfection right there. It looks so much better than having a big chunk of chocolate just standing straight up. So I kind of put that back. So you can leave this big chunk of chocolate sitting like that, or you just take it off, and it does leave a little bit of a blemish on the chocolate, but it's okay. I'm just going to trim this one just a little bit too, because this has got a couple sides that were just a little too high, because this chocolate was where I kind of ran out. This was the last one I made, so it only got half filled. But then you just kind of smooth it out and it looks fine. And then the top looks really good. It's got a good sheen to it. And all the rest are, like, I'll show you the height difference between the one that got half full versus the one that got completely full. So there is a height difference. So by getting rid of that, so now the back side of this one looks just like the back side of the other ones. So it looks really good. I'm just going to check them all. Just make sure all the extra loose chocolate is off. Oops. Okay, and then I've got the last two to pop out. So these will do the lips and the hearts, and these ones were the silicone baking, but I'll show you. These ones, you pull it like this and you can just see the chocolate coming away from the edge. This one's a little harder because it's such a smaller shape. But it's the same thing. I'm just gonna pull it slightly because these you can't really twist like this to get them to pop out. You kind of have to just pull. I'm just gonna flip it upside down and just give it a push from the top. See if I can get them to pop out. As I said, these ones I have never, these ones are so small. I've never made chocolates this small before. So I don't know if I can get, oh, I got one out. But look at that. Cute little lips. And I said these ones were the milk chocolate, or the mint milk chocolate. These ones are just going to be a lot harder to pop out. It's going to take a few more minutes to get that one out, but I'll just do the heart ones because they're a little bit larger. So these are the heart ones. These are also the mint milk chocolate. I'm just going to pull this like this, and they start to pop out, and then I can just get them to come out. And look at that. It is like a perfect heart. So there's the bottom. It's kind of got a little edge on it. The top side is completely flat. Get these to pop out. And I'll go back to trying to get these other ones to pop out. There, I got the heart ones out. I'm just going to set the heart ones here on my dish. Oops. Don't want that. Don't want the extra loose chocolate just sitting on top of the hearts. Won't look so good. I can see my house is hot. These chocolates are melting. I'm just trying to move them so I can fit more on here. No, they are melting as I move them. I'm just going to get these ones to come back out. Is a little bit harder, smaller. I don't know. I think it's kind of cute that I got them, but these tiny ones. I don't think I'm gonna make small ones like this for a while. They're hard to push out. Maybe if I didn't have acrylics, it might be a lot easier because I can actually, with my thumb, be able to push with the center of my thumb, not just the sides of my thumb. There, one more. There. Got them all out now. So that is my Valentine chocolates. There we go. Just got a couple more to put on my plate. They look pretty good. So they're starting to melt, probably because I had to kind of work with these ones. There you go. I will just move my camera so you can get a better shot. But there's the turtle. So that was made with the milk chocolate almond nougat. The rose ones were made with the milk chocolate hazelnut. And the heart and the lips were made with the mint milk chocolate. So I'm just, in 1 second, I'm just going to turn the camera to a different angle so you can see. Okay, so there are the chocolates. I made with the 3 chocolate bars from Walmart for $1 each. So there's all the chocolates that I was able to create for $3 worth of chocolate. Okay, hope everybody enjoyed my chocolate tutorial, and again, just want to say thank you to everybody who's subscribing and watching my videos, and please check out my other channel, Beauty on a Budget. That is where I did my hair and my nails. So I will just say again, thank you to everybody, and I will see you all in my next videos. Bye.